Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So today's video is going to be a meal and snack prep. I'm currently standing in my room because my list of what I'm going to do is actually behind me on my board. So I'm going to show you that. But first, I'm going to show you a Vitacost haul as well as my meal and snack plan for this week. And I don't always plan dinners, but this week I did because it was just easier with what we had going on. This is going to be the Vitacost haul, and not everything in this haul is food, but most of it is food. So I'm going to start. I'm just going to kind of grab things out of this box, and as I do it, yeah. Okay, so the first thing is this Simple Truth unsweetened coconut milk. I thought I ordered one. It turns out you have to order two. So I got two of these. And these are 32 ounces. And the next thing I got was Almond Breeze vanilla almond milk. And this is 32 ounces as well. I've got one of these. And I like these as a nice alternative, especially in my smoothies in the morning. That way I don't have to for my protein shakes in the morning. The next thing is goji berries for a recipe from Navitas that you will see. I'm going to try and remember to found that recipe. Okay, the next thing is Simple Mills almond flour chocolate chip cookie mix. Also for the same recipe for the goji berries. The next thing, like I said, not everything's food. The next thing is Schmidt's deodorant, bergamot and lime. This is just my favorite deodorant, and it's cheaper on Vitacost than it is anywhere else. Even though I have found it in the stores, it's 3.5 ounces. This is cheaper on Vitacost than it is at my store. It's like $20 at my store, and I don't know why. Then I got 3 boxes of my Gingins. If you've been here for a while, you know I love these things. So I got 3 boxes of these to restock. And when I shop Vitacost, usually I'm restocking stuff like deodorant, my Gingins, and sometimes my supplements. I didn't need anything this time, so the only thing I restocked was some of my almond milk, my coconut milk, and my deodorant and things. And then I got 3 random things. The final thing in this Vitacost haul is this Kettle and Fire bone broth. This is a 32 ounce container. Okay, so for meals and snacks for lunch, I just do salad, soup, mac and cheese. I will usually make some chicken, and then I've got my cookie bars this week. For dinner, we're having a roast one night, soup, leftovers, we'll make your own. One night we'll go out, and one night my brother will cook, and one night my mom will cook. This is not any order, that's why I've numbered it. So my plan for today is I want to get my roast in the crock pot. I have a recipe video for that. That'll be in the card somewhere if I can remember. If not, let me know and I'll send it to you. I'm going to prep carrots for soup, as well as get some salad stuff ready. At least that way, if I want a salad, I can make it. And I prep salad stuff, not just for lunches, but for dinners too. That way we don't have to do anything other than throw it in a bowl. Okay, and then my brother has my grandma sent cookie dough for my brother, so I'm going to make his cookies. I'm going to make my cookie bars that are a little bit healthier. That way I have like an energy bar thing. And I'm going to bake me some chicken. And Rowdy is trying to help. So I'm going to pop in my headphones and we're going to get started. And before I get started, hit the red subscribe button down below if you didn't already, or if you're not already subscribed. And let's just get started. Okay, so before I start anything, I'm going to preheat my oven. I usually do 350 depending on what I'm making, but and since everything I had to make this week, well, both the cookies were going to cook at 350, so I just cooked the chicken at 350 too. Took a little bit longer, but that's all right because it still managed to get done, and I still managed to have some time left. And if you see anything weird in the background, chances are it's the cats. So I'm just starting with cooking 5 chicken tenders. I just do salt and pepper on these. I used to put a little bit of oil or butter or something, and now I just don't anymore. So it's a little bit healthier. And I just start with what's going to take the longest. So I knew the chicken was going to take longer than anything else, so I just got that ready and got it put in the oven. And then after that was put in the oven, I started with the cookie bars, and I kind of allotted myself enough time to know, like, if this is going to take this long. And I started this at 40 minutes thinking it was only going to take 40 minutes, and it took about 60 at 350 degrees, but it was still frozen, so yeah. So once I got that put in the oven, I started on that cookie bar recipe. If I can find it online, I will link it. It's just from Vitacost, and I've never actually made it before, but I've been wanting to try it, and I figured now that I kind of have to change up my diet a little bit because of my diagnosis, I figured now would be a good time. And if you want to know what I'm talking about, I will link my chronic illness day in the life video somewhere in the cards or down in the description box. But I did make it a little bit healthier. It didn't specify what kind of oil. It didn't really specify anything in this recipe at all. It didn't even specify how big the pan had to be, or if you should grease the pan or not. So I just greased the pan a little bit with some coconut oil, not a whole lot, but just enough to give the coconut, just enough that way it wouldn't stick. And honestly, after baking them, you probably don't have to do that. But they turned out really good. Honestly, I think they need coconut. I don't know why, but there's something about the texture about them that makes me think they need coconut. what it looked like before they went in the oven. I just put them in the oven at the 25-minute mark because it was going to take them 25 minutes to cook. So that's what I did when the oven said 25. I threw them in the oven and they were done. And then while I was waiting for those to bake, I rolled out some of the cookie dough for my little brother. I don't know why I call him my little brother because he's bigger than I am, even though he is 23 now. So yeah, I guess that's why I call him my little brother, because he's younger than me. But he's not little anymore. So yeah. And I try to make them all the same size, and I'm making snickerdoodles. I don't have a recipe for this. All I had to do was roll in some cinnamon sugar and bake them for 8 minutes. It took 8 minutes with my oven with the size that I made. Depending on how big you make them, it might take a little bit longer than that. And I don't have a recipe for this. I'm sorry. But my grandma made the cookie dough. So, yeah. Okay, so back to the cookie bars, and I know I'm gonna flip back and forth a few times, but that's just how I cook. So the cookie bars are done, and then I'm gonna put the balls of cookie dough in the oven, and like I said, this cooked for 8 minutes, and I just waited till after they were done, and I checked the chicken in between that, and that time the chicken wasn't done, so yeah. Okay, so after I got everything put in the oven, I just started peeling potatoes and carrots for this roast, and I also left one carrot out of the roast, so I had enough for soup, but I did go on and cut it up. And I'm going to mention that I was planning on preparing like lettuce and stuff for a salad, but when I got in the fridge to get the carrots out, I realized we had enough lettuce left over from the night before that I didn't have to prepare any lettuce for a salad this week. So salad stuff got skipped over this week. Any other time I wouldn't skip over it. If you want like an ingredient prep video instead of a meal and a snack prep video, let me know, because sometimes I do that, but this week I just felt like kind of doing a meal and a snack prep as well as somewhat of an ingredient prep. And I don't always do a Crockpot meal on the days that I did this, but we had a roast in the refrigerator and I didn't want to have to freeze it, so I did go on and just make a roast, and that'll give us leftovers for at least one night, as well as when I make the soup we'll get leftovers from that. Like I said, I just number 1 through 7 on my meal plan. I don't usually meal plan dinners. Every now and then I will, but we had so much food this week that I wanted to kind of get used up that I did kind of do it. And yes, Rowdy jumped up on the counter while I was filming this. I did take a minute and stop filming to get him off the counter, and then I washed my hands and went back to peeling potatoes and stuff. So don't worry, I did wash my hands in between. I know a whole lot of people are going to flip out about the cat was on the counter, and in this house there's no way to keep him off the counter. He's not afraid of water, so the spray bottle does not work. Okay, so like I said, another break from what I was actually doing to show you. The cookies came out of the oven, and yes, the one was kind of crushed, because when I grabbed the pan out of the oven, I didn't realize my finger was on the cookie, so yeah. But either way, it still tastes good. And I let them cool off for a few minutes, and then I put them all on one pan to cool off completely, and kind of got them out of my way. I also want to mention, I turned off the oven at that point, and I shouldn't have done that because I forgot the chicken was in there. It was perfectly fine. I just turned it back on a few minutes later. While I was cutting up the vegetables, I realized, oh, I turned off the oven. So, yeah. But I just chopped up the carrots and the potatoes, and most of the carrots went right into the crock pot, and all the potatoes went into the crock pot, and then that final carrot that I cut up got put into a bowl for soup later this week. So I will link my roast recipe somewhere in the cards. I've done a whole video just on it before, but all I do is put the vegetables on the bottom, put the roast on top, and top it with some onion soup mix. And at this point, I forgot to put an onion in there. You don't have to do this if you don't want to, but we like the actual onion. So I just put a leftover onion in it. And then after that, I will show you what it looks like in the crock pot. I just set it on high because I didn't have as many hours as I was planning on having to cook it. I should have started it earlier, but either way, it turned out perfectly fine, and it tasted great last night, so, because I'm editing this the next day, so either way, it's fine. And then I made sure my chicken was done, and the chicken came out of the oven, and you will see everything that I actually got done. So this is everything from the cookies, the cookie bars, the roast, the carrots I cut up, and the chicken. So that's everything. Okay, so that's it for today's meal prep video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't already at the beginning of the video, hit the red subscribe button down below. Other than that, thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.